Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing alright. If you're not, hopefully we can turn that mood around today. But here's a fun fact for you. Today is the last day of Shark Week. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. All I know is I wrote this while I was watching Shark Week. Anyways, I've always found Shark Week so fascinating because it's this week-long event that while it's happening, everyone cares about. But then the second it ends, everyone just forgets that it exists. It's a lot like YouTube drama. Like, remember when Rice Gum was relevant? I know, right? Uploads every day, hasn't uploaded in a month. Hopefully that doesn't change tomorrow. Well, I decided to do a little research on the history of Shark Week because, well, I was bored watching Shark Week. And what I found was that the whole idea basically just came from a bunch of executives spitballing ideas while drunk at a bar. And one of them literally just said, Shark Week. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole history. But you see, that history is pretty boring to me. So I decided to come up with my own history for Shark Week. So break out your marble notebooks and your number 2 pencils because it is time for a history lesson. You see, while the televised event known as Shark Week began in 1988 on the Discovery Channel, the actual origins of Shark Week could go back decades prior, all the way back to the 1939 World's Fair in New York. And yes, I know it looks like Epcot, but it's not, I promise. Epcot wouldn't even be a thing for another, 50 years. At the fair, there was an exhibit called Sharks. They're pretty cool, right? And it was run by this guy named Reginald Baconwater. Now, Reginald Baconwater was not your typical marine biologist. He was a lot more of a P.T. Barnum type, but more like Hugh Jackman in Greatest Showman P.T. Barnum, and not like actual P.T. Barnum, who was an asshole. And now, well-recorded footage and articles about sharks, they're pretty cool, right? Is few and far between nowadays. Thankfully, I did my research and can tell you all about it. Just call me Defunctland. So right next to Sharks sat the RCA Pavilion, which, fun fact, actually housed one of the first expositions for the television set. And for 1 week during the festival, RCA brought all of their cameras over to Sharks and just recorded a bunch of stuff. They recorded hammerheads, they recorded tiger sharks, they recorded baby sharks, they even had a whale shark, which, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how they even got one in Queens, but I guess they did, and they recorded it, which was pretty cool, I guess. And this proved to be a hit for NBC, which actually broadcast this event to every single television in New York City, which was only like 1,000 people. Okay, listen, it was 1939. Not everyone had their 85-inch QLED Samsung Roku Smart TV or whatever. Okay? It was a different time. God, so insensitive. Anyway, so after the success of what we historians like to refer to as the first Shark Week, people were clamoring for more. Sharks were all the rage in 1939. I'm talking shark t-shirts. I'm talking shark backpacks. I'm talking shark-themed dining experiences in the vein of Rainforest Cafe. But then this little thing happened called World War II. Yeah, remember World War II? You know, the war with the world that came after the first one? Yeah, that happened. So World War II hits and Reginald Baconwater gets a call from then President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And the call basically went something like this. Reggie, baby, how you doing? I heard you got sharks over in Queens. Yeah, I got sharks here in Queens. Why do you ask, Mr. President? Well, you see, the Germans have these things. They're like boats, but they're underwater. We're calling them U-boats, because, you know, they're boats, but they're underwater. Because they're underwater, right. I get what you're saying, Mr. President, but I'm not really sure what you want me to do about that. Well, you've got sharks. Sharks swim in water. Some would even say that sharks are the apex predator of the oceanic environment. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure Tearsu said they were mostly B tier. What was that? Never mind. So, what are you saying, Mr. President? I want to use your sharks to take down the Nazi Navy. Oh, okay. And just like that, the first ever shark squadron was formed with the intention of providing a natural counter to the German U-boats. And throughout the first half of the war, Baconwater's sharks sank 378 submarines. Just so you know, the Germans only had 1,200 U-boats, so the sharks were killing it, literally. Anyway, by 1944, Nazi Germany had caught on to the Allied use of sharks to counter their U-boats and created probably the most insane, Dr. Evil, Dr. Doofenshmirtz kind of shit ever. German engineers created a device that essentially looked like a really sexy shark. Well, sexy to sharks. I don't think this is hot. Guys, I'm not into sharks. I swear, I don't think it's that hot. I promise. Anyway, so these fake sharks would basically convince the Allied sharks that they wanted to, you know, but then it would just kill them, like cold-blooded Jaws type shit. Wait, did Jaws die in that movie? I actually don't remember. I should check that. 1 second. Okay, yeah, no, they did kill Jaws. This eventually led to one of the most important battles on the Western Front, the Battle of Riptide. You see, now that the Nazis had a strong counter to the Allied sharks, it was only a matter of time before it all came to a head in a very heated battle like the end of Revenge of the Sith, except it was in the water and not on a lava planet. So on August 15th, 1944, the Nazi fake sharks intercepted the Allied sharks right off the shores of northern France, and it was a tough battle. Sharks were falling left and right. Fake shark titties were scattered all over the place. But then, after hours and hours of fighting, Bruce, the great white shark, broke enemy lines and dealt devastating blow after blow to the Nazi fake sharks. You see, unlike the rest of the squadron, Bruce was asexual, which meant that the attempted seduction by the Nazi fake sharks was all for naught, and Bruce would go on to secure the victory for the Allies at Riptide, forever changing the tides of the war and sending the German Navy running. In celebration for their victory at Riptide, America celebrated with festivities all dedicated to their fighting sharks. This would be the second Shark Week in the history books, and the last for a very long time. That is until 1987, with the release of the first true blockbuster film, Jaws 2. As a way to promote the film's upcoming release, Universal called upon NBC to spend a week of their primetime schedule airing old footage from the 1939 World's Fair from Bacon Waters' exhibit, as well as a documentary featuring Bruce, the heroic great white shark from World War II, titled Biting the Enemy, the Bruce Baconwater story. This programming block, while unnamed at the time, is what us historians like to refer to as Shark Week 3, Tokyo Drift, and it would also be the final Shark Week before its eventual return nearly a decade later in 1988 on the Discovery Channel. But let's talk about that return in 1988, because there's a lot more to the story than anyone will tell you. You see, while it's true that the initial idea for Shark Week came from a bunch of drunk executives at a bar spitballing ideas, what they'll often forget to mention is that the bartender serving them was actually a descendant of Reginald Baconwater, Jimmy Buffett. And during the conversation, Jimmy actually chimed in and said, "Hey, what about a week dedicated to sharks? You know, my grandfather actually had a..." And they cut him off, because that's what executives do, and stole his idea, writing it down on a napkin so that their drunk asses wouldn't forget it in the morning. I actually have the napkin right here. Aw, man. Then bada bing, bada boom, 9 months later a little baby Shark Week was born, and the world would never be the same. Well, there you have it, the full and complete history to Shark Week. Hopefully you learned something new today. I know I sure did. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought about it, and if you want to see more of this kind of stuff I make here, hit that subscribe button. But I do want to let you guys know, I only want 2 more subscribers because I'm really close to the haha funny number. So if only 2 more of you can subscribe, that'd be really cool. So like hit that subscribe button faster so that like you can be one of those 2, because I only want 2 more subscribers. Then after that, I'm gonna be really upset with you. So like if you're the 3rd person to subscribe after this video, I'm gonna be really upset with you. But if you're one of the first 2, you're gonna be a legend in my book. So just so you know, if you want to subscribe, do it fast. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next week. Peace.